Some battles echo through history. Their outcomes shaped the rise and fall of civilizations, redesigned maps, and influenced the fates of millions. In this video, we'll highlight 10 world-changing battles from ancient to modern times. We'll see how pivotal moments on the battlefield transformed politics, society, and the course of human events. From underdog victories that stunned mighty empires to clashes that forged new nations, these are battles that truly altered history. Strap in as we count down 10 pivotal battles that forever changed the world. Number 10. Battle of Thermopylae, holding back the Persians. Our first battle that changed history has become a legend: the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC. This clash saw 300 Spartans hold off the vast Persian army in a heroic last stand. The vast Persian Empire under King Xerxes had already conquered much of the Middle East and Asia. Now they sought to expand into Europe by invading the smaller territories of Greece. But they faced fierce resistance. 300 elite Spartan warriors under King Leonidas blocked the narrow pass of Thermopylae, holding back Xerxes' army of over 100,000 men. For 7 days, the Spartans repelled every Persian assault. Their tight phalanx formation and skillful fighting utilized the landscape to nullify the Persians' crushing numbers. Finally, a traitor showed Xerxes' army a hidden path that allowed them to surround the Spartans. Leonidas ordered the rest of the Greeks to withdraw while he and his 300 made a heroic last stand, fighting to the death. This battle demonstrated that a small but disciplined, skilled force could overcome the odds and hold back an empire, even in defeat. The Spartan sacrifice inspired all of Greece to resist the Persians. Just 1 year later, the Greeks triumphed, ending the invasion for good. Thermopylae changed history by halting Persian expansion, showing the world that the Greek city-states would not submit easily to tyranny. The bravery and cunning of 300 Spartans preserved Western civilization as we know it. Number 9. Battle of Carrhae, horse archers topple Rome. Our next influential battle saw a mounted force armed with an ingenious new weapon bring down one of history's greatest generals. The Battle of Carrhae in 53 BC pitted the Roman Republic under Crassus against the Parthian Empire in modern-day Turkey. Overconfident in his 50,000 legionnaires, Crassus expected an easy victory. But the 10,000 Parthian horse archers unleashed a weapon the Romans had never faced before: the recurve bow. This bow's power and range allowed the lethal rapid fire of armor-piercing arrows from horseback. The Parthians feigned retreats to draw Romans into ambushes, peppering them with arrows. Unable to close the gap or retreat safely under arrow fire, 20,000 legionnaires fell, including Crassus. With their general slain, Roman morale collapsed. Carrhae proved cavalry and ranged tactics could overcome the once invincible Roman legions. The Parthians showed rival empires Rome's vulnerabilities for the first time. This historic defeat made clear that Rome would not expand unchecked in the east. Parthia blocked their advance for centuries until Rome's ultimate decline. Number 8. Battle of Tours, stopping the Muslim conquest of Europe. In 732 AD, the fate of Christian Europe hung in the balance at the Battle of Tours between the French and invading Muslims. Umayyad forces had conquered Spain and swept into France, seeking to expand the caliphate farther into Christendom. A massive Muslim raiding army led by Abd al-Rahman al-Ghafiqi had plundered its way into the French interior. They brought their forces to bear against the army of Charles Martel, ruler of the Franks. Vastly outnumbered, Charles made a daring gamble. He attacked the Muslims head-on as they were busy looting a French town. The bold surprise move threw the disorganized Umayyad forces into chaos. Though still at a disadvantage, Charles capitalized on confusion in Muslim ranks to gain an advantage and secure victory. The Battle of Tours halted the Muslim advance into Europe cold. Umayyad expansion plans collapsed, leaving most of the continent Christian. Charles Martel passed into legend as the heroic hammer who saved Western Christendom. This battle preserved the religious landscape of Europe. Number 7. Battle of Vienna, the Ottoman high watermark. Turning to the 1529 Battle of Vienna, we see an Ottoman invasion of Europe finally repelled after heavy sieging. The Ottoman Empire under Sultan Suleiman had rapidly expanded, conquering the Middle East, North Africa, and Eastern Europe. Vienna was the gateway to finally subduing Western Europe. A massive Ottoman army of over 100,000 Turks besieged Vienna, defended by just 20,000 Habsburg troops. After weeks of pummeling the city, Vienna neared collapse. But at the decisive moment, an alliance of European nobles rushed to relieve Vienna. Their surprise cavalry charge broke the Ottoman offensive for good. This defense of Vienna halted the Ottoman tidal wave surging into Europe. The failure to take Vienna marked the peak of Ottoman expansion. Though they'd threaten Europe for centuries more, they'd never come as close again to subjugating the West. Freedom of religion and Western civilization prevailed. Number 6. The Battle of Plassey. British conquest of India begins. Now we sail to India in 1757 AD, where the British East India Company set the stage for colonial rule at the Battle of Plassey. Seeking trading privileges in the Bengal region, the company became embroiled in a local political dispute. They saw an opportunity for greater control. The company's 3,000 troops supported their chosen puppet ruler against the larger army of Bengal's Nawab ruler supported by the French. But thanks to betrayal by the Nawab's generals and superior cannon firepower, the British gained an advantage that led to victory despite the odds. This key battle enabled Britain to install their chosen Nawab as a figurehead and assume control of Bengal. From here, the East India Company conquered the subcontinent. Robert Clive's gambit marked the start of nearly 200 years of British imperial rule in India that indelibly shaped the nation. Number 5. Battle of Gettysburg. Turning point of the American Civil War. Halfway through our countdown, we arrive at the pivotal Civil War Battle of Gettysburg in 1863, often cited as the conflict's turning point. Confederate General Robert E. Lee had strung together battlefield victories that threatened Washington, D.C. itself. He invaded the North to try decisively defeating the Union. In Pennsylvania, Lee's forces collided with Union troops led by General George Meade. The battle raged for 3 brutal days as Lee tried flanking the Union position. But this time, the Union refused to yield. Massive casualties mounted, but Meade held strong, repelling Lee's assaults on Gettysburg's strategic heights. Lee ultimately retreated, having suffered irreplaceable losses. Gettysburg ended his ambitions to fully defeat the North and force peace terms for the South. This momentous Union victory boosted morale to see the long war through to its conclusion at Appomattox. Gettysburg affirmed the North's resolve and changed the war's trajectory. Number 4. Battle of Britain. Halting Hitler's advance. The most crucial air battle in history unfolded in 1940 as Britain stood alone against Hitler's aggression. After blitzkrieging through Europe, Germany sought to destroy British air power before launching a seaborne invasion of the island nation. For months, the massively outnumbered Royal Air Force fended off waves of German bomber and fighter planes in the Battle of Britain. Against steep odds, the RAF denied Hitler air superiority over England through fierce defense and radar early warning systems. Britain inflicted unsustainable losses on the Luftwaffe air fleet despite taking heavy damage of their own. With invasion plans foiled, Hitler reluctantly postponed his attack on Britain to focus east on Russia. This proved a fatal mistake. Britain's victory marked the first real check on Hitler's ambitions for control of Europe. Remaining an active threat, it tied down key German resources. The RAF's historic air defense saved Britain from occupation and enabled alliance with the U.S., changing history's trajectory. Number 3. The Battle of Hastings. William the Conqueror reigns. Crossing the English Channel in 1066 AD, we reach the pivotal Battle of Hastings, where William the Conqueror seized the English crown. With King Edward of England dead, Harold Godwinson usurped the throne from rival claimants including William, Duke of Normandy. William refused to recognize Harold's kingship, declaring his own rightful claim after Edward's promise to make him heir. Landing in England, William's Norman forces confronted King Harold's Anglo-Saxon army at Hastings in a ferocious clash. Though Harold bravely fought to the death atop his hill, William's cavalry ultimately carried the day. The Anglo-Saxon line broke, their ranks shredded by Norman arrows. This victory allowed William to march on London unopposed and declare himself king, forever altering England's course. William imported French language and culture, built castles and cathedrals, and enacted lasting political reforms. His Norman dynasty ruled for centuries, blending with native Anglo-Saxons to shape modern England's heritage. Number 2. Battle of Actium, birth of the Roman Empire. Our penultimate world-changing battle decided the mastery of Rome in 31 BC at Actium between future Emperor Augustus and rival Mark Antony. These Roman generals vied for sole control of the Republic following Julius Caesar's assassination. Civil war raged to determine Rome's ruler. At sea off Greece, Augustus' navy led by Agrippa defeated the forces of Antony and Egyptian queen Cleopatra. They fled, and Antony later killed himself. By consolidating power, Augustus could begin transforming Rome from unstable republic to enduring empire. His long reign brought stability after civil strife. Augustus instituted lasting political reforms, championed arts and culture, and expanded Rome's borders, laying the foundation for 200 years of Pax Romana prosperity. By defeating his rivals, Augustus seized the reins of history and steered Rome from republic to empire. Number 1. The Battle of Hastings. William the Conqueror reigns. Our penultimate world-changing battle decided the mastery of Rome in 31 BC at Actium between future Emperor Augustus and rival Mark Antony. These Roman generals vied for sole control of the Republic following Julius Caesar's assassination. Civil war raged to determine Rome's ruler. At sea off Greece, Augustus' navy led by Agrippa defeated the forces of Antony and Egyptian queen Cleopatra. They fled, and Antony later killed himself. By consolidating power, Augustus could begin transforming Rome from unstable republic to enduring empire. His long reign brought stability after civil strife. Augustus instituted lasting political reforms, championed arts and culture, and expanded Rome's borders, laying the foundation for 200 years of Pax Romana prosperity. By defeating his rivals, Augustus seized the reins of history and steered Rome from republic to empire. From ancient clashes that shaped civilization to modern battles that redrew political lines, history's trajectory has often swung on pivotal moments of combat. These 10 world-changing battles remind us how single days of bloodshed can echo through the ages, altering the fates of millions in their wake. They show that history is not predestined, but forged through struggle, courage, and determination against long odds. The thrilling stories and high stakes of these history-shaping battles will continue inspiring new generations with lessons of war's sweeping influence on humanity's ascent. Let us know in the comments what other influential battles changed history as you know it. And don't forget to subscribe to see more countdown content.